We are live, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. Bitcoin, bitty coin, 60K. Felt like we haven't seen 60K in forever. Let me just make sure that everything is good. This is definitely, hey, even this, well, I guess, let me push it to bullish. As you guys are coming in, go ahead and just smash that like button. So far, 7 views or 7 people on. Just go ahead and hit the like button. So that way we could chit chat and talk about some good old meme token, guys. Meme tokens was definitely gonna pop off this market here. Let me just make sure I got the comments on so that way I can see. There we go. Chris, what's up, brother? What's my thought on Bone on the 18th? Um, well, it's definitely gonna help. I don't think we're gonna see like and I could be wrong. I don't think we're gonna see like a significant uptrend. I don't think it's gonna happen immediately. Let me get Bone pulled up on the chart, but it is very bullish for Bone though, because what that does, depending on how much over time, start to use K9 as their delegator, then that's going to put less bone into the circulating supply. And we love that. So less bone on the circulating supply that's out in the on the market in days where we get, 10, 20, 30, 40, $50 million worth of volume, like how we saw, what was this, like a few months back? Then instead of us going from 46 cents all the way to, I think we reached like 100. I'm sorry, I said 100. We're not there yet. We reached $1.71 off of just 3 good days worth of volume. Now we have less bone on the market. Then instead of us, doing 41 cents to $1.71, it could be 41 cents all the way to $5. So it helps. Click bullish. Will K9 see a pump on the 18th? It's not like the 18th. Just look at the 18th as far as like the start of it. That's how I'm viewing the 18th. Like it's gonna be the start of everything. Let me take a look and see how many is currently delegating right now. Just a second. Shibarium. Go to validators. And I think some probably started already taking it out due to the fact that they're trying to get K9 bone. So right now 2.5 million bones. So multiply that by what, 40? That's about like a million and some change dollars just coming onto the chain. Let's say if all of these people decide like we're gonna restake it, take it out, restake it, boom, now I got K9 bone. So if we go to DeFi Llama, let's see how much. DeFi Llama currently right now. So it essentially it doubled. We would double our TVL on chain just based upon the people who are currently um, using them as a delegate through K9's validator. That's the amazing part about it. Like it instantly boosts up the chain. So now we have more capital to go in. Now I haven't been following any new Shibarium projects as of yet, but I know 1 cent is one. Uh, Corrupt, that's another. You got Ryoshi. Um, you got Chewy, and these are just some of the ones that some people that elite. Oh, LTD, that's another one. You got Hochi, that's another one. So besides Bad Idea as well as K9, like there's really not a lot of projects that's on Shibarium. So as more and more funds start to go in, it's gonna have to go somewhere. What do you think the starting market cap will be for Cat 20 token? Well, the market really decides it. Currently, right now, I don't know what site, but they are being sold OTC style, and I think it's being sold for about $1. Um, so my best guess probably maybe $1. Um, and that's like a 21, roughly like over 21 million market cap. Uh, is it too late to mint Cat 20? Let's take a look. Let me refresh it. It is not too late. Currently at 98% minted out. Probably in about an hour or so, it's gonna be too late because roughly there's less than close to 400,000 tokens left to be minted. So currently right now 98% minted. Like I got a pretty nice size in cat. I got over 1,000 token, close to like 1,500. That's one thing I didn't, because I always look at these like risk reward. When you're minting, it's a new protocol. Um, it's definitely helping the whole Bitcoin ecosystem. So anytime it's something that's helping with new technology, it's the first. Um, it's typically gonna explode. But at the same time, you also gotta manage risk reward. You know, like I mentioned in the video, I did go bigger size than what I normally like to go because anytime that is something new, a meme token, have high conviction in it, at most, I'll probably do $400. But with this one, I did close to like 1,000. So we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. Is this going to be the next 100Xer? And even with Roy and Kitty, I still think Roy and Kitty still has another 100 to even another 1,000X in it. Because anytime it's self-governance, as far as like the community is governing the token without any extra supply that's on the overhead, then once the people who are tired of waiting, they finish selling and doing what they have to do, then it's just gonna be straight buy city. And once it start having a huge pump, then you're gonna see the FOMO buyers. Like all of this right here was just straight FOMO buying. FOMO buying, and eventually the top is gonna be set. Once the top is set, people who FOMO buying, they're selling in between here. Even like one of the biggest whales. Now they are doing it respectably, but their average buy, I want to say it's at like 0.203. So this is their average buy right over here. And just throughout the last few months, they just been slowly just winding down their position. Uh, you said random. I still can't get back in the Telegram group. Any suggestion? I feel weird not being in the community. It says that you're in. Let me go back again. I'll take a look at it right now. Just a second here. Drop your Telegram username. That way I could just see. Cause yeah, last time I checked it said that you were back in there. How much profit can you make from 400 million canine at a $1 billion market cap? The thing is with the market cap of canine, it really all depends because tokens are coming into the circulating supply. So as more token comes into the circulating supply, the price point would change. So if we're talking about based upon this current supply right now, get my calculator real quick. But as far as profit, I don't. You would have to say at what point you bought in at, well, your cost average, I should say. At $1 billion market cap. Let's see. That will put it at 0.2073 with 400 million. You're looking at a $2.9 million. That's how much that 400 million would be worth. Is the J because normally within the Telegram, there's not going to be a space though. It wouldn't be it wouldn't be space like as far as for your username. That's not your username. Everything would just be all connected. Not your name on Telegram. Your username. Why don't you cover a bad idea or unification anymore? Um, I never covered bad idea. I mean, I talked about it maybe like once or twice. Um, as far as like not talking about unification, um, no information. Like my complaint was, always been the same. Like there's no activity, not on socials. Um, yeah, so really that's the main. I still hold all of my fund. Haven't sold I haven't sold a dime, but it's like why should I try to push the marketing when the team is not doing anything? So it's like yeah, whatever. Bitcoin 60.5 guys. Like I was saying in the beginning, it feels like it's been a minute. Like crypto, whenever the market is red, it definitely feels like a long time. But if you just zoom out and just see like how long it's really been red, like under 60, um, last time, roughly what, the end of August. We're currently September 13th. And when you zoom it out even further, like look at the chart of Bitcoin. This is a nice, healthy chart. You have this big move right here, starting from right here, then followed by, since March, since it hit this top, straight consolidation. This is just consolidation. But a lot of time we tend to freak out more than what it actually is. Like this is nice price action on any chart. The straight consolidation, and eventually once we pop, all time highs, then we're gonna see the fireworks. Will K9 reach 1 billion MC in 2025? Strong possibility. Very strong possibility, especially if they do it, if they continue to do what they're doing. It is going to be dictated on also the success of Shibarium. But I think with Shiba Inu, like anything that's attached to Shiba Inu is going to do well. Like bad idea. That's why, I got bad idea. It's attached to Shiba Inu. Gonna do well. Why I continue to still hold fund. I think it's gonna do well. K9, it's gonna do well. Bone, gonna do well. Leash, because the way that it works, anytime that Shiba Inu start to have a nice big parabolic move, any token that's associated with it tend to follow. Because remember the last time we had that nice pump on Bone, guess what was leading the charge? It was Shiba Inu. And this is why, like, I don't understand when people get. This is why I understand, like, when people. I thought somebody said just did a God candle. This is why I understand when people say like, "Oh, Bone is not, gonna do X, Y, and Z." Like, if you're saying Bone is not gonna, go parabolic is similar to just saying that Shiba Inu is not gonna do anything because they run together. I bought around 10 million tokens back in March, and the rest last month and this month while it's been consolidating around 0.40132 or 134. Yeah, so I'm assuming that's for K9. Yeah, though, those are definitely good buying opportunity. Like K9, like look at the market cap. Look at the market cap. Like these are the plays that people like, especially if you don't have a lot of capital starting up in crypto. These are the plays you want to focus in on. Market cap, they do have utility. It is going to take longer to pop, but once it start popping, like going from meme to meme is very hard to predict. And a lot of time, if you're going from meme to meme, you're going to end up giving back your gains. Like, I still remember when this was dropping, it was just dropping like a falling knife. Team was selling on Nero, like 9 times out of 10, if this happens on any other crypto, it's not recovering. But they had some inside connection. They end up getting on Binance. I don't think nobody, unless if you were part of the team, nobody saw that coming. They got on Binance. They got on crypto.com. So now those platforms pretty much making them legit. But prior before this, when this was like this is just straight gambling. Like again, like is one guy in the comment section, he want to brag about it because I was saying like, hey, like why am I gonna be buying a falling knife? Like the team is dumping. You saw the transaction based upon the information that you're seeing right here. Like who wants to buy it? Like 9 times out of 10, like I'm not. You're not trying to invest to gamble, you know. But they end up, I guess, once that insider, the team member, end up selling, they use their connection. Now they're on Binance. So Nero still have to play out, but it is definitely getting more legit as more exchanges list them. And I ain't talking about like paid listing because with Binance, you can't pay to get listed on Binance. You can't pay to get listed on crypto.com. But the volume though, and I think this is what attract them. One thing that I've been seeing just like in the background, and even an exchange told me this, as far as like when I asked them about like free listings. So this part I didn't really understand, like why some, and I used to just make assumptions. I'm like, well, maybe it is because of volume, but they do look at on-chain volume. Like this did $23 million worth of on-chain volume. Like if any crypto does that amount, this is when you tend to start to see free listing because now these exchanges they want to extract some of that capital. So a big exchange, um, I had asked them like, hey, uh, any chance of listing Roaring Kitty as far as for free? They went, did their research, looked at the data. They were like, nah, you don't have enough volume. They were like, if you're able to do $5 million in volume, then we'll list you for free. And after a while, I just started thinking about it. I was like, okay, it does make sense. Why? Let's take a look at Bone, for example. What is Bone's on-chain volume? JDM, have a beer on me this weekend and let's effing go roar. I appreciate that, my brother. All right, so looking at on chain volume for Bone, only $52,000, guys. $52,000 on chain. So for Bone to get listed on some of these exchanges, the on chain part would have to go higher because again, these exchanges they're in the business of making money. So if they're not making money, then more likely, or if your token is not producing a lot of volume, more likely they're not going to be interested. And one thing about Bone too, like if you look at the chart of how this thing is, since October, really August 2022, it's been in a descending wedge, guys. Descending wedge. If you look at this point, from this point to that point to that point, just descending. Once it pops with this much consolidation, like it's gonna get to $10 real fast, real quick. And once that happened, this is when everybody's eyes is gonna start opening. They're gonna be like, "Oh my God, Bone is gonna get to $100 now. It's gonna get to $100." because even with Solana, nobody thought Solana was going to get back to the $100 when it was like below $10, and that's it. Really is. It's just the human mind. They're like, oh, it's at 7. It's going to 0. That's what people were shouting. It's going to 0. Solana sucks. And Solana got to $10, $20. Up. It's going to 100. Now it's in the hundreds. Now you're seeing people calling for Solana to $1,000. You know, so no, JDM, man, I do agree. I do need to go live more. It's just timing. Like today, I got done with everything real fast. I even had time to go work out, man, and I haven't worked out in I don't know how long, at least about a month. Um, because I definitely love to do more lives, especially on Fridays. What went down with Nero? Why it was the team dump? Well, it was yes, someone who they never said the why. He just had a whole boatload of tokens. I mean, he's from what I gathered, I think he's done with his selling. But it was free tokens that he got. Um, and yeah, he just wanted to, I guess, get out. So with that whole crash that was happening, yeah, it was caused by a team member. Boom. Yeah. But like I mentioned, 9 times out of 10, after something like that happens, it doesn't recover, you know, because the trust factor is gone. And with crypto, people, you mess up one time, boom, it's over. Even with yarn or yawn. Now, I'm not saying that it's not going to recover, but it is going to have a tough time. Is this the right one? Yeah, this is. Yeah. So this right here, the market makers. Let me show you the old chart. No, not I'm sorry, not a market maker. It was a KOL that they had on board, because a lot of time when you're seeing these tokens are going up, getting pumped, there's somebody behind it. There's somebody that's helping these tokens go up. Either they're doing the buying, boosting up volume, because this is how they see it. If you have enough capital, you could drag any crypto like whatever direction that you want, because once the volume really start to come in, people are just going to follow whatever has the hottest volume, and they're just going to ape in. Like if let's say if I had like $2 million and I wanted to take this token to like a 200 or 300 $1 million market cap or something like that. All it takes just like different bots that you have from different wallets, just seemingly making it seem like it's going up. Then once it start picking up on trends like this, you're gonna have people that start to FOMO in, and this is what a lot of the KOLs do. They partner up with different people that could be able to do that. Plus, they're following. A lot of it is just marketing, marketers, and people look at it and be like, "Oh my God, this is like just going crazy." But since these KOLs they had tokens, guess what they started doing? They started dumping. They the one who caused this dump, and eventually what the team had to do is step in and be like, you know what? Let's go ahead and just relaunch this project. So they sold their tokens to be able to suck up the liquidity, and now to be able to have a relaunch. But at one point in time, oops, just happened to it. At one point in time, this was at a um like at a 30 or $40 million market cap. Yeah, so now it's sitting at a 6.56. The morale is a little down. So they got a tough road ahead of them as far as trying to rebuild. And that's what tend to happen in crypto there. I think with the basis point, I think it's very, very likely because things can't continue the way that it is. Because if they do not do it, it's gonna crash. It's gonna end up crashing a lot of markets. So they're just like at a tough place right now. I even seen pork. I had bought pork a while back. Bought it like right around here, so I'm back to break even on pork. Anybody into pork? So I don't know what's happening in the background right here, but it started, having a nice little run, consolidation, breakout from it, not consolidation, breakout again. Pepe, Pepe's at a $3.31 billion market cap. Definitely, like for me, buying anything above really a $500 million market cap is a no no for me because I'm looking to try to maximize my gains. Like people who are buying Pepe, it's safer. So if you got big tons of capital, yeah, buying Pepe at these levels right here, it's definitely not a bad idea. You could even draw this support right there. Got it hit once, it hit twice, it crashed, it popped above it, and look where it retested before it had this run. Boom. And also when it started coming down, it tests here before it bounced, and it came right back to the same spot again, and now it's testing. Because this right here, to me, is major support, and that's roughly 0.506326. So if I would get in, I would get in right here, risking off of this level right here. If it cracks below it, gotta cut, take the loss, and reassess it. Now, if it does end up popping back above it, then you can retake the position again. SoCal dude super chatted $10. SoCal, appreciate the 10 bomb, my brother. From Bone to XRP, I had to, bro. It happens. I mean, it happens because with Bone, and this is what I was saying. Like with Bone, it's a patient play. It's like the exit for me for Bone. It's not gonna be till 2025. Um, with the liquid staking that's coming out, it's gonna help Bone. It's gonna help K9. It's gonna help Shibarium. So I at least want to let everything play out. And like I mentioned to everybody, I will reevaluate my position in Bone in Q1. But with bone, the thing is, you don't really need to get over leverage to be able to make a nice gain in it. That's one thing I like about it. Get the chart of bone pulled back up. Like I talked to somebody else who was, they had like old close to 200,000 bone. Like, yo, I mean, that's dope and all. If you have that conviction, but whenever you have that much size on any crypto, any movement up or down, you're gonna be feeling it, Like even with whenever I was like day trading the stock market, like the most that I could stomach as far as like trading with was $10,000. Anything above $10,000 at any single time, I always mess up because I don't let it play out enough. Because if it moved, by a penny, I was either up or down $500. So instead of just letting it play out, which, my thesis was right, I always shake myself out because I'm looking at the dollar amount that I'm down by and like, oh crap. So that's the same thing with crypto. Like I see people slap too big of a size in a lot of these cryptos. If you have the stomach for the volatility, sure. But if you do not, you ease into the position. Because then you'll be able to make a lot clearer of a play. You could assess it and be detached to it. Because then you could separate the outcome out of it and just trade the process. Like everything for me when it comes to trading, investing, it's a process, process, process. Anything outside my process, then I start to get, I start to panic. But XRP, like anything in crypto that you get into is going to do well, especially for the time that we're currently in right now. All right, I got 16 likes. Go ahead, guys. Smash that like button. Smash that like button. What other cryptos you guys are into looking at? Oh, your average cost of bone is 71 cents. Mine is right around the same too. It's around like 70 something cents. Let me check and see if this thing has been minted out. 98.57. So only less than 300,000 to go. Nice. JDM's average is 34 cents. See, like with the average like that, you could just go to sleep. You go to sleep, wake back up. You know, that's a nice average, man. Very nice average. What crypto you guys are looking at? Polygon. See, Polygon for me would be like a size play. Like if I'm getting into Polygon or Matic, like in order to make decent returns, and I'm not talking about like a 10x or something like that. I'm talking like Maddox is, yeah, it's low. Um, I was at a $1 billion market cap. I haven't looked at Maddox in I don't know how long. Let's see. It's definitely very interesting. So the what was the top? Let me go to Coin Market Cap and see. Oh, so I was looking at something else. Yeah, no, it's really at a $1.3 million market cap. Wow, it fell off. So $2. Let me put the candle. So the top last cycle was $2.92. So this is why I say this would have to be like a size play. You would have to put some serious capital into it because with the supply of it, because you got to keep in mind the supply is really going to dictate like how high it could go. So even let's say it doubles from its all-time highs, which is I'm just going to round it up and say 3. So from, you know, that would be $6. You're looking at over in somewhere close to about a 15x, I want to say. But I feel like with that, to 15x safely, you would have to put a lot of capital into it. I mean, 15x is still nice, but I feel like there's so many other plays out there that I could focus in on to, try to make 60x or 80x or 100x or even more. So that's how I view them. Like, and this is why, like, when things start really getting above $1 billion market cap, ONDO and H bar. Let's take a look. H bar. And it will be the same thing for H bar. Already $2 million market cap. Circulating supply 36 billion. What was the top life cycle? We're looking at 57 cents. Let's say this cycle it goes to $1.50. So at 5 cents to above $1.50, I mean that's a decent gain. That's what 30x. So that's not bad. A 30x, 20x. It's not bad. But then again, with this being the 40-second crypto, it doesn't have much room. And with this, you would have to also slap some nice capital. Now at these levels, 30, 40, 50 grand, slapping that much, you're going to see a nice dollar return. And that it's also going to also dictate, how much money you're going to try to put into it. So if you're investing $1,000 and you get a 20x, that's 20 grand, nice return. But again, it goes back to like how like trying to get more bang for my buck. ANT. Is it this one? ANT. Is it this? $12. Say $24. Once it passes all time highs, say yeah, $28, $30. From this level, it's nearly at its top. That wouldn't be something I'm interested in. But then again, it all depends on what's their story, because that also matters. Because the market cap is low. OND. ONDO. Same thing for me. Like $500 million market cap and below. So the ANT, it would fit within my, my category. So the next thing would be like, what's its story? Like, why should that crypto be able to get to, let's say, $1 billion market cap, or a $2 billion market cap, which that would be a 10x for it. Like, what's the story behind it? Boys on base. See, nothing popping up for boys. The boys are back in town. So is the ticker BOYZ, or I just call boys on base? I'm not seeing it. H bar, Polygon. Yeah, see, and I get what you mean, JDM. As far as like taking profits, because even like when you look at the charts, we definitely had some opportunities to be able to take profits, but at the same time, it's like this is not the bull market, you know. Especially we had opportunities to take profits here, over here, over here. But who was to say like when it was doing here, it wasn't just gonna break out and continue to keep going? And now it ran away and it never came back. Or even right here, when it was trying to break out, who was to say it just couldn't keep going? Or even here. So that's why for me, for Bone, I'm just keeping it as a time based trade, just keeping it, within a time frame. So wherever price it's at within that time frame, that's where I'm looking to exit. Bullish E money. What is going on? Brett on base. Brett on base. Oh, just looks like I just did Brett. Or Brit. Is it this one? Oh, Brit on base. Is this the one? Is the team still there? Like what is going on? It's like anytime I see a chart like this, it's definitely giving you great opportunity to get in. You know, like your risk reward on this is probably the best. But is the team still active? These are the questions I'm going to be asking. Like, is the team still active? What caused this this sell off right here? Was it insiders? Who owns, a lot of the supply? So those are the questions that would just be going in my head because anytime a chart looks like this, either more tokens getting added to the supply. So it's got to be some type of team member or someone who had free tokens. Because naturally a chart would not look like this because the culture in crypto is diamond handing. Like people diamond hand. So even the people who bought over here, majority of them wouldn't be selling. So if they're not selling and the people who are buying here are selling, then naturally it should automatically just rebound. So this right here is letting me know that there's been some selling. Probably some insiders or someone who had some type of free tokens. And see, it's not a crypto, that's your name, bro. Oh, trying to put, I guess, arts. I got you. Oh, snap. Got me analyzing a crypto. Oh, it's funny. Okay, there it is right here, boys. All right. $416,000 market cap. Same thing for this. It had this nice big parabolic move. Opportunity for it. It's there. But the question again is there a team behind it? Or is it just strictly community? What caused this dump right here? Was it team members or was it the um, devs decide they wanted to run? Because once this happened, and this is one thing I love about liquidity. A chart is is not always dead. Like it's what needs to happen for something like this is just the volume. Whatever amount that was extracted here, as long as it could gradually get put back or even in a real fast as far as like buying, then it would reset the whole chart. But what tend to happen with a lot of charts is you see the big volume bar, then followed by the big red selling bars, and the crypto collapse. Around this time period, this is where a lot of cryptos tend to just collapse. So yeah, so it tend to collapse right then and there because people start giving up, start going away. Then eventually, it's just like boom, this is just a token that I just hold, and nothing else is being done to it. But As long as someone, could get the excitement in it, start doing something, or at least have something for the community to look forward to, then I think it could recover. Like anything could recover in crypto. You know, I mean, besides a rug, of course, when they're taking all the liquidity out or a contract exploit. But if it's just natural, just well, not natural. If it's just sell off from a team or dev, it's gonna need work. Yeah, but it was right on the year the bear market started. Oh, you're talking about okay. So you're talking about the last cycle, as far as selling. Yeah, that's one thing too. That I think I could have did better too. Even selling my Shiba Inu. Um, I I had a perfect opportunity, and everything within myself was saying like sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it. But I waited just a little. I mean, I still sold at a decent spot with my sheep, but it was all the extra profits that I left on the table, and it was due to the greed. And one thing that I was waiting on was the whole Robin Hood, because I thought like at the time had Robin Hood just really gotten into Sheem, would have ate another zero and would have been at what, three zeros, and with the amount of sheep that I had, that would have placed me it would have placed me like above a million, above $1 million. Um, added just ate the zero and just went up ran up a couple more, or at least, well, no, never mind. It wouldn't have been a million. It would have been close. It would have been close. But I was looking at that, the profit aspect, and not looking at the time frame and not looking at the chart. So I could definitely understand, as far as like not selling during the last cycle, because it did take me a minute. Well, not really a minute. It did take me a little bit to sell. I think I sold either December, then yeah. Okay, yeah, if the team is still alive and they're still working, then definitely. I mean, I don't see why not this can't recover. But just the whole fact of like what happened here, this is the part that you want to know. Because if you know why this happened right here, then you could probably assess like, okay, if we start pumping again, is this gonna happen again? Do you still own any paw? Um, no, I never. No, I never owned paw. I was trying to think. I've been looking at paw. The JD's one and the other one too. Paw Zone and what's the other one called? I forgot. But no, I don't own any of them. So it's at a $578,000 market cap. I think this is JD's, right? Let me see. Yeah, like this right here. I think one of it was caused by the team. There was like some type. I remember someone was talking about it. Didn't really look into it, but they were saying like the team sold or something like that. Um, yeah, and that's the thing, guys. Like when it comes to project, like being an owner of a project, like people who owns project, like there's overhead that they have, and depending on how the crypto is structured, the capital is going to end up coming from the token. So this is why you see some tokens like their charts. It's not as pretty. Because if they have to do paid listings, then they would have to pay. If they don't have the capital themselves, they could pay within their token. And once they pay within their token, at some point or another, the exchange, they're going to end up selling those tokens just to get paid off of it. If they have like moderators that they pay, then they're going to pay them in the tokens. And the moderator, in order for them to make their money, they're going to have to sell down the token. So just understanding just like the mechanics of these will really put you in a better position. Like even with Bone, some that I don't really talk about but yeah, they have a treasury. Some of the expenses that the team have to do, sometimes it's in the form of selling Bone. And this is why like I'm excited about Treat, because now some of the funds that they have could now be used from the funds that they receive from Treat. But all of this, I knew going into it, and even with that, it still outweighed, uh, them selling as far as for whatever they need to do with the money. It still outweighed. I'm losing train of thought. Well, the risk reward was favorable still, so especially with the whole blockchain. When to take a profit is a mystery. I bought sold at 7, got scared out of my position around 20. Can only imagine if I would have held. It's all a gamble. It's the science of it, and this is from what I learned after being in multiple markets. The time to sell. Again, you're never going to sell at the top. So if you're looking to try to be perfect and sell at the top, that's not going to happen. What you're looking to try to do is just get the meat of the move. So if it's, let me just get Bitcoin pulled up. But you're just trying to get the meat of the move. If you get the meat of the move, then you take that as a win. And what I mean by that, let's say you bought Bitcoin right here, right? You bought it right here and you decide to sell it right here. Is that the meat of the move? No, that's not the meat of the move. Like me selling right here would be like, okay, I'll accept that because I'm selling closer on the higher end of the chart versus on the lower end. And the second thing that you have to also understand too is, when are you selling? That's why I say, like, in this market right now, nobody should be selling any assets. So based upon history, and you could go back, take a look at it, see if what I'm saying is true. But based upon the history of Bitcoin, and even with the altcoins, after the Bitcoin halving, you have the window to sell is between 13 to 17 months. So 13 months after the Bitcoin halving would put us in May. So between May, I guess May, June would be 14, 15 would be July, 16 would be August, 17 would be September. So between May, and it's not an exact science. So, because again, if you're making life-changing money, like that goes out the window. Like if you're up 2, 3, 4, 5, $10 million, it'll be like, oh, Random March said, gotta wait to this 13th month to the 17th month before I can sell my $10 million bag. Like, forget that. That goes out the window. You take profit immediately. But historically speaking, though, you see the best time to take profits is 13 to 17 months after the halving. Because that is where the tops are going to be made at. Like, I have in my mind as far as like selling Bone, and I'm struggling with this because if it does get to like real fast, like to $100, and we're still not within the 13th month, like this is when it's good to have problems because it's like, hey, am I gonna take $1 million or am I gonna and more likely if it gets to 100 real fast, real quick, I'm taking it. Like forgetting waiting 13 to 17 months because the goal of it at the end of the day is just to be able to make the profit. So no, you did hear me mention Paul before. I said I was gonna look. That was a crypto that I was looking at, and it's like out of sight, out of mind too. Like because what they're building, a layer three, I think that's a hot narrative. So I'm not saying this is not a good buy because even if you look at it, even though like you could tell like dumps like this, the team they must have sold sometime. But overall, it's been consolidating since May 2023 around this area. As long as like the team, don't start dumping and all doing all this and that, then this could have a nice rally up because like I said, the layer three, I think that's a very good narrative going into the cycle here. A gem, what is it? AIT. AIT protocol, 15 million market cap. Like first thing that attracts me is always the supply. Hey, they got a few listings here. This is what do they do though? In the domain of Web3 data infrastructure, placed significant emphasis on the annotation of data, centralized labor. Yeah, that's not bad. Let's see how the charts look. Last cycle, $1.03 at 7 cents. Wolf Tools. Is Wolf Tools the same as Wolf Work? Or is that another one? Is this the same one? Wolf Tools? See if this is minted out. Cat 20. All right, it's at 99.28. So, yeah, it's going to get minted out. So about 150,000 tokens left. That's crazy with the holder count. Already 41,000 holders. So more likely what we're gonna see is a listing for this. And I like the fact that the amount, guys, the amount is only 21 million. 21 million. It's gonna have a liquidity pool. So it's gonna have the DeFi aspect. Not only is gonna have the DeFi aspect, it's gonna be one of the standards on the Cat 20 to have smart contract on Bitcoin. Like that's like I don't think people realize like smart contract on Bitcoin. Like DeFi on Bitcoin. That is next level. Yeah, it man, that was the whole reason yesterday I wasn't really active in the chat because I was sitting there just trying to figure it out. Like I was on the computer for a couple of hours just to be able to um really understand it, because when I was trying to mint it, I was like, yo, why this thing is not minting? But eventually, after just, fooling around with it, finally was able to get it. And I thought, like, man, if I had this much trouble, I could imagine, like, how many other people had trouble with this. And that's why, like, I made the video this morning. Bone Shiba baby. Like, Bone is gonna be a millionaire maker. What was the other hey, there was this project that was on Shibarium. See if I could forgot that project's name. It was on Shibarium at one point, before they left. I forgot the project's name. They're currently on Ethereum right now. Because I was going to show you guys just like the example when Bone was pumping and how that project was really like all the projects were just pumping along with it. Let's walk back. Nah, it wasn't Mars Swap. Even though Mars Swap it did pump too. Let me look at it. It was another one. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot it that quick. Like it'll eventually come to me. I'm looking it up right now on my phone just to see if I could find it. Crypt IQ. There it is. Yeah. Crypt. So this was after they left Shibarium. Um, let's see. Trying to see the run up when Bone was going parabolic. Oh, there it is. Right. Let me go to deck screener because this is tripping. Crypt IQ. I'm assuming they must take the data away or something, which that sucks. Because I wanted to show you guys like how all these tokens were just pumping when the price of Bone was just going parabolic. And this is why I say like any token that's paired with Bone, once Bone starts going crazy, it's gonna automatically, 10 to 100x a lot of these projects. And I think what is, and I think it's gonna catch a lot of people off guard. I will not save Grimes, Siobhan, and the kids. Hmm? What's that? Hey, random, how were you able to calculate K9's current circulating supply with the market cap of 1 billion to see how much you would profit? All right, yeah, so for that, get my calculator out. All right, to be able to get, a market cap or find out how much it would be, first you want to start off the formula. You start off with the desired market cap, that what you want it to be. So in this case, it's $1 billion. So you'll put 1 billion up here. Billion, billion. Yep. Then you would divide. Then you would divide by the current circulating supply, which is 136 million. 3176. All right. Then this would be the price of it when it's at $1 billion. So all you'll just do from here is multiply your bag size, which I think you said yours is 400 million, and this gives you the dollar amount. So you would be looking at close to $3 million at those levels. So hopefully that helps. K9 will bring liquidity to Bone with staking. Yeah, I'm excited about that. I am excited about that. And I'm still looking for the video when I mention it. Like I mentioned, anybody who brings liquid staking onto Shibarium, any project who does it, that's going to be a 100x project. And this is before K9 was even, thought of. Yeah, so this was before Shibarium even launched. And I was talking about like different projects that could come onto Shibarium and really have a big impact. And this is why I said like for K9, yeah, they definitely, in my opinion, don't get the love that they deserve, but eventually they will. Um, Now, one project that for me, now I don't own any, but I think is very impressive, especially how it's ran. Is Kendu Inu because this is mixed with a strong team, strong leadership, as well as a community. The community has a vengeance to try to be the top meme token on the market, and it shows with their action, as far as like how active they are. Like any crypto, guys, like any crypto could pop off if the structure of it is right. It don't really take much. And what I mean by that, it's just like people in itself just coming in and like having the mentality of saying like, hey, I want to make money. Like, okay, how do I make money? What task can I do on a daily basis to ensure that I'm gonna be making money? And a lot of it is just simply by liking a few posts, retweeting, being engaged in the community. Like little things like that will be very, very helpful for a lot of community because again, if you post, let's say you like giving Roaring Kitty, for example. So currently right now there's about what 700 holders. Um and even if all 700 are not active, let's just say 200, right? Or 300 holders that's really going to get after it. And every time there's a post, they're going to retweet. That would be 300 retweets like from the main account. The Martin Kitty's main account. So that way you guys could see just how like the math and how things just becomes a snowball. Like this right here, out of 700 holders, and I get it, not everybody do have X account. And this is what I'm saying. Like if 300 from the 700, like if 300 came in and they retweeted this X post right here, right? Currently right now with 11, that's 444 views or impressions of people actually seeing this. And this happened day in and day out. So now it's not a perfect world. I'm not saying like, every 11 retweet, now 12. And notice like look how the look how it changed. So let's say if 12, so every 12 we see 445 impressions or people looking at this project, because all it takes, because keep in mind when it comes to marketing, it's about visibility, the eyeballs. Like, is people seeing your, are they seeing your product? And this is essentially what it is when it comes to crypto, like what X is. It's marketing. You're marketing your product. So if 12 people retweeted and 445 people saw it based upon these 12, now what if we did 300, right? 300 people see it. So now multiply this 25 by this 445. Now you're getting 11,000 people seeing your crypto on a day-to-day basis. Sometimes people have to see something 6, 7, maybe 8 or 9 times before they actually take action. But if this is something that's constantly being put in their face, like roaring kitty, roaring kitty, roaring kitty, roaring kitty, then eventually they're gonna be like, you know what? Let me just get a bag. Like before, when a lot of people was active, we were doing maybe about 1,000 views per post. But now, currently, right now, it's at 445. And I get it. Some people leave the community. People got lives. All of that is understandable. But if you want to make it easy on yourself, participating um, in whatever crypto that you're in, that's going to help the crypto out because it's becoming organic. Do I think that Bone is really going to explode? Yeah, without a shadow of doubt. Like when I tell you, after the last cycle, I took some time and I sat there and I was looking for what would be a crypto that's going to have a high chance of succeeding and what crypto can I legit just put, you know, at most. I didn't want to go past $10,000. At most $10,000 into one single crypto and be able to pull $1 million into it. And the answer to that was Bone. The reason for Bone, because of Shiba Inu. Everybody knows Shiba Inu. Like the targeted audience for Sheeb. I pulled up Bone, but the targeted audience that Bone could pull from is Sheeb members. Now, keep in mind with these Sheeb members, a lot of them are degens. So they typically are not going to get into Bone until Bone really start ripping face. Once Bone start ripping face, you're going to see a lot of Shiba Inu holders. They're going to start to convert over. Like on-chain, 1.4 million holders, guys. And from here, it just goes from probability. Like, what's the probability that out of the 1.4 million holders that we could capture, let's say 20% of them? I think the probability is pretty high. Like 20% of, let me do the calculation real quick. Let's see. That'll put us at 281,000 holders. And this is just strictly off of holders that are just converting over. Then you add the element to Bone is the gas token for Shibarium. That's going to increase in more holding as Shibarium get bigger, as more people start to it. They're going to automatically become bone holders. And they're going to be bone holders, not even from an investing standpoint, but just transactional wise. The metaverse. You have so many things that is gonna make bone just a natural use. It's gonna be a natural use of on Shibarium where people are is gonna be by nature just to have bone. So I put all of that together. Now there were some other things as well too, but just basically off of that, even layer twos or layer ones, how they typically the tokens that explode on those chains are the gas tokens. Um, Even with this fractional Bitcoin, now they don't have all the tokens out, but 210 million token. That's it. That's the max supply. So far, they only have like 1.4 million that's in circulation. But slowly but surely, it is gonna add more. But look how well this is doing. This is the gas token. But we shall see whether if my thesis is right or wrong. And I even think like even if I am wrong, which again I doubt that I'll be wrong. Even if I'm wrong, Bone could still get to like a 20, 30, $40 range. If I'm wrong about it. That's the crazy part about it. Would I be disappointed if Bone get the $30 or $40? I absolutely will. X Fund gas token for Shibarium, it is not. X Fund, I think it facilitates within the bridging, like bridging assets from Ethereum to Shibarium, but it is not the gas token. Bone is the gas token. Is Cat 20 fully minted? 99.66. We are down to the wire, so if you did not mint your Cat 20 tokens, this is the last opportunity. Only about 70,000 left, so probably give it another 20 or 30 minutes. X Fund powers the Oracle. Yeah, but you don't need. But that's more of a for the infrastructure though, as far as with the Oracle keeping the prices and stuff like that. Um, because a gas token, you're gonna need that to transact it. Now, X Fund in itself, you do need it for the Oracle. Guys, I think I'm about to call it here. I'm gonna try to go live. Oh, a few things. We are doing a X Space tomorrow. Roy and Kitty, X Space. So if you don't got nothing to do, It is 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, guys. So if you don't have nothing to do, come out to the space. Jolt is gonna be helping with the space, so shout out to Jolt. Um, yeah, and also, if you didn't mint your Cat 20 token, you could always get it on the open market. Um, Pretty sure it's gonna get listed on a few exchanges. Roaring Kitty, definitely another 100x is in the mix for this. This is gonna get onto Shibarium soon. This was the takeover by the community, so this I'm telling you guys, I'm excited about Roaring Kitty because of how everything is developing for it. Like just the community aspect of it. Looks like somebody came in and did a buy. Yeah, with the community aspect of Roaring Kitty, I'm excited because the only selling pressure that we have, only selling pressure that we have on this is the holders itself. So for the ones who don't believe, they're gonna eventually, sell, get out, and it's gonna make more room for people who do believe, and also for some of the people who got in like super early when I first mentioned it. Um, you know, like I get happy when I see the early investors sell. That way the tokens could get distributed out even more. But really, guys, that's all that I have for you. Again, I'm gonna try again next week at 6 p.m. Let's do 6:30. 6:30 next Friday. If I don't have anything come up, I'm gonna also do another live and try to keep it going, especially now that things are starting to heat up in the market. I love the chats. I love doing the lives. It's just the timing for me, guys. I so busy. Like outside of crypto, like life just be lifing with so many stuff. But yeah, guys, that's all that I have for you today.